This is Fieldsports Channel News. More than 2,000 school children experienced the British uplands last week with hashtag Let's Learn More. Gamekeepers, farmers, fire services, police, mountain rescue, conservation organisations and national park authorities ensured thousands of primary school children had a day to remember and learned about the management of England's delicate and important moors. And moorland groups continued the education at the Great Yorkshire Show with reenactment of a driven grouse drive for visitors to take part. The House of Lords is giving the House of Commons a hard time over its animal sentience bill. The bill aimed to create an animal sentience committee, which may feed into a new rural police force, the planned Office for Environmental Protection. Organisations including Basque and the Angling Trust are concerned that animal rights extremists will weaponise these government structures in order to end shooting, fishing and livestock ownership. Work is ongoing for the second day of the debate, which is yet to be scheduled. Kenya's Wildlife Authority says it doesn't know anything about plans to fly elephants out there from a Kent zoo. The Aspinall Foundation announced plans to send 13 elephants from Howlett's Wild Animal Park to Africa and has been raising money online to pay for it, reaching more than £250,000 so far. Damien Aspinall insists donors will be part of conservation history. He says one of the reasons they're being sent to Africa is elephants don't breed well in captivity, even though all but one of them is born in Britain. Kenya's Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife tweeted a statement saying it knew nothing of the plan. The Prime Minister's wife, Carrie Johnson, who is communications chief for the Aspinall Foundation, said it would be the first ever operation to re-wild a herd of elephants. Kenya's statement said moving elephants around is not easy and is an expensive affair. The plan needs approval from the Kenyan government, which it doesn't have. The Charity Commission is investigating the Foundation and Howlett's over possible conflicts of interest and misuse of charitable resources. After a flying start, the Just Giving page raising money for the plan has not had any donations since Monday. Meanwhile, animal rights activists are calling for a ban on keeping elephants in captivity in the UK. The Born Free Foundation says there are 51 elephants in zoos and they have no educational value because they're living out of the context of their natural environment and suffering a range of psychological and physical ailments. The elephant welfare group set up by the British and Irish Associations of Zoos and Aquariums has been working on a report on the issue for 10 years. Chester Zoo's Director of Animals and Plants, Mike Jordan, says zoos play a vital role in conservation and developing a vaccine for a type of herpes virus that affects elephants. The British Pest Control Association is holding a members' summit on general licences for bird control in Northern Ireland. This comes after the Northern Ireland Environment Agency announced a consultation on wild bird control following wildly unpopular licensing changes across parts of the UK. The BPCA summit on the 6th of August will gather views of members who operate under general licences and submit a response on their behalf. The NIEA consultation focuses on the proposed removal of herring gull, lesser black-backed gull, great black-backed gull and rook from all three categories of general licence. If you want to attend, register at the link in the description below. A zoo described as Britain's worst has been denied a licence to keep animals. Borth Wild Animal Kingdom experienced a string of incidents including escapes and animal deaths. The attraction, north of Aberystwyth, was banned from keeping big cats last summer. Owners Tracy and Dean Tweedy's company, which changed its name to Animalarium, wound up in court in February for debts of more than £100,000. 2 months later, they applied for a dangerous wild animal licence, which was denied after an inspection in May. On Fieldsports News, the zoo owners threatened to slaughter their animals if they couldn't continue. An amnesty for handing in newly prohibited guns ends at midnight on the 14th of July. The Offensive Weapons Act 2019 prohibits possession of self-unloading rifles other than in .22 calibre. Most firearms affected are manually activated release system and lever released rifles. The National Rifle Association of the UK reminds owners of Mars or LR rifle they should take it to the nearest police station or face a 5-year jail term. The Home Office says 1,133 rifles have been surrendered, but the NRA is convinced that a handful have not. Apple has taken a popular and legal gun sellers app off its App Store. Apple removed Gunbroker, which is also a website, because it regards apps that facilitate the purchase of firearms as objectionable content. The tech giant insists the move was to protect the safety of its customers, accusing Gunbroker of wanting to shock and offend people. Apple's rival Google also removed the app from its Play service because it violates its dangerous products policy, though it's left car buying apps on the platform. The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association wants deer farms closed down. The hunters are worried about the spread of chronic wasting disease from the farmed to wild deer and are calling on the state to buy out the herds, then ban farming. The hunters also want the transport of deer banned except those going directly to slaughter. This comes after authorities killed dozens of deer on farms with the disease, which is similar to mad cow disease. It hasn't been proven that it can pass to humans. The local legislature adjourned this month without addressing the issue. The grouse population of a US state is on the decline because of the lack of muirburn. Wisconsin's Department of Natural Resources says hunters won't be able to shoot sharp-tailed grouse in the state for the third year in a row. A spokeswoman for the department says she blames a lack of prescribed burning and timber harvesting of the barrens, grasslands and forests where the grouse live. She says private landowners shy away from the costly land management needed for the bird's survival. Almost 100 vultures have been found dead or dying in a suspected mass poisoning in Spain. Carcasses of 55 vultures and a black kite died after eating the remains of 4 sheep in a field in the northwestern region of Castilla y León. Authorities are investigating whether they were poisoned on purpose or if they ingested agricultural chemicals such as sheep dip via dead sheep. And finally, a tourist caught a man throttling a gull after it stole his donut. Cornwall Live website insists people on the Torquay waterfront were horrified by the incident, though most walking past appear amused or not bothered. The camera woman says the man bought donuts, put them on the rock while answering his phone, and the birds swooped in. He grabbed one by the throat, it dropped the sugary snack, which the man carried on eating. He then threw the bird over the ledge as if to say, "Donut, do that again." You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.